Hi, Arcfieldweather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, February the 26th. Yesterday we posted a video about the upcoming pattern through the month of March, and I do believe it will be quite an active weather pattern that will likely produce multiple severe weather threats. We're talking about places like the Gulf Coast region, up across the Mississippi Valley, the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley. Still not ready to pinpoint exact times and locations, but I just wanted to emphasize that the overall pattern, I believe, will produce above normal severe weather activity during the month of March. And that includes the threat of tornadoes. Certainly we typically run deeper and deeper into tornado season as we go through the months of March and April. We have increasingly warm and humid conditions that will set up during the month of March as the sun gets stronger and stronger. That increasingly warm and humid air typically will flow out of the Gulf region into the Mississippi Valley, and when you continue to have cold air outbreaks, at least on an occasional basis, you will have a clash zone setting up with that cold air to the north and west and warm and humid air to the south and east. And I do believe that will be a setup as early as next week. I think this week we're in the clear for that, and it looks like we could have another clash the week after. So at least a couple of severe weather outbreaks are possible, in my opinion, as we go through the beginning part of March. Again, next week, perhaps by the middle of next week, and then the following week as well. Now, how about snow threats? Well, whenever you have occasional cold air outbreaks, you certainly have the possibility of some more snow, especially up across some of the northeastern states. Interior, higher elevation locations of the Northeast, for example, will be a favorite spot for snow over the next couple of weeks here. We'll kind of focus in on that as well as the severe weather possibilities here over the next few minutes. Now, let me run through last night's operational run of the GFS at 0Z, the 850 millibar temperature anomaly pattern. Beginning today, just going through the next couple of weeks here. First of all, widespread warmth for the most part across the nation for today. It'll be a very mild day in places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, with afternoon highs in the 60s in D.C. and plenty of sunshine with high pressure in control. Very mild across much of the nation. That is one of the reasons why I do not expect to see any kind of severe weather over the next few days. Warm air has simply overwhelmed the pattern here across the nation, but that will not continue. So let's move forward in time here and just watch. First of all, here is one cold air outbreak. That's a brief one for Friday in the Northeast, and then a more significant one for Sunday and Monday. That quickly passes. Now you have a surge of warmth. Let me stop this right here. This is a week from right now, the middle of next week, March 5th. This is the kind of a pattern that I believe could generate some severe weather. Here we have colder than normal air dropping south and east from Canada into the central states, and warm and humid air across the eastern states. And here is your clash zone region right here, this kind of an area in between the cold and dry air to the north and west and the warm and humid air to the north and east. Of course, this could translate a little bit down to the south and east with the advance of time here. So let's keep moving forward here. And again, this is one possible severe weather timetable here, the middle of next week. Now, let's move forward again. And that cold air that slides into the east, and we still have more cold air outbreaks here moving into the east. That will be followed by another surge of warm air into the following week here. Now we're all the way out to the middle of the following week, the 12th. And once again, we have this kind of a clash zone area here setting up potentially in the middle of the country 2 weeks from right now. Warm and humid air off to the east and cold and dry air off to the west. This is dropping down from Canada, likely this air mass moving up from the Gulf region here and causing some well above normal conditions. Again, this is going out 2 weeks. Bottom line, continue to have cold air outbreaks on an occasional basis for the next few weeks. That tells me it will be a very active weather pattern, one that can produce some severe weather events, and certainly one that could still produce some snow across portions of the northern U.S. Now let's take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps, again beginning today and then just going forward for the next couple of weeks, and we'll kind of pinpoint the upper air pattern that I would expect to see in a potential severe weather outbreak. Cold air moves into the northeast for Sunday and Monday of next week. Then we get into the middle part of next week. We'll go out again to Wednesday, 1 week from right now. And here we go with the kind of a pattern you may expect to see in the upper part of the atmosphere when you have a clash zone setting up right here. For example, you have high pressure ridging focused on the eastern seaboard at this time, low pressure in the upper part of the atmosphere out across the west. Again, this is kind of cold and dry air out here, warm and humid air here. This could set up a clash zone, and we'll have to watch this area early to middle part of next week. We'll talk about the 4th or 5th of the month of March. Now, let's clear the deck here and continue to move forward in time. And that trough slides to the east. And again, it's not a constant cold pattern here, but we have another ridge setting up here by the following week. And here we go into, let's say, Tuesday, March 11th time frame. And here we have quite the setup here with, again, high pressure ridging over the Atlantic seaboard, strong upper level trough over the southwestern states. This is very impressive, being 2 weeks out, almost 2 weeks out, to see this kind of a anomaly here of 500 millibars. And again, very likely to set up some kind of a clash zone here between the cold, dry air advancing to the south and east from Canada and very warm and humid air up across the eastern states. Could very well set up a severe weather outbreak here. The following week we talk about almost 2 weeks from now, and we'll just kind of go a little bit farther out in time here. And again, strong ridging here, deep upper level trough right here. This takes us all the way to the end of that second full week in the month of March, to about March 14th or so. Now, how will this translate at the surface? And specifically, let's talk about the possible snow chances coming up here over the next couple of weeks with this active weather pattern. We'll just move forward here on a frame-by-frame basis. We have a cold frontal system that will produce some showers in the mid-Atlantic region on Thursday. Way up across northern New York State and into New England, there certainly can be some accumulating snow later tomorrow into tomorrow night with this frontal system. Go out a little farther in time. Cold air moves in on Friday. Then there's a clipper that does produce some snow across the Great Lakes region at the end of the work week here and into the day on Saturday. It too can produce some accumulating snow up across, let's say, the northern half of New York and New England. So a couple chances just in the next several days here from northern New York up across New England for accumulating snow. That drags a cold front through the mid-Atlantic region, turns quite a bit colder than normal for Sunday and Monday. Here we go on Sunday with strong north winds in the northeast U.S. and the mid-Atlantic region, well below normal temperatures on Sunday, and that cold shot extends into Monday as well. There's a little system we'll have to watch here over the next few days. It's not a strong system, but it will encounter some cold air in the mid-Atlantic region, so we'll have to see if it does maintain its intensity, and if so, it could produce some snow in the mid-Atlantic region, let's say by about Tuesday of next week. Then a lot of activity really starts to show up here on the weather maps, and I definitely believe this is a feasible scenario here. Here we go, 1 week from right now. We have strong low pressure moving into the northern part of the Ohio Valley with cold enough air for some snow over the Great Lakes. And here we have, at this particular time, a strong cold frontal system going down into the Gulf region here, trailing this low pressure area. Go a little farther in time. And here we go. This is a setup here I'm a little concerned about. This is a week from right now, next Wednesday, March the 5th. And again, we saw the reasons why I believe severe weather outbreak is a possibility. This is that timetable here for the first round of potential severe weather here. About a week from right now, by the earlier middle part of next week, and likely down across the southern part of the U.S. This is the lower middle Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley region. Notice, cold enough air for some accumulating snow way up to the north. And can you have both severe weather with snow? Absolutely. And this is the kind of a scenario that could happen here with severe weather down south. And then as that system moves up to the north and east, potential, this is all potential, you could have snow up across portions of the mid-Atlantic region. This puts out decent snowfall here ends up as a coastal low here by the time we get to the latter part of next week. Way too early to be specific on this, but this is the kind of activity that we could expect over the next few weeks. A highly active pattern that can produce both severe weather, especially down south, and can continue to produce some snow, especially up to the north. So that's one time period we'll monitor closely. Let's say Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, all the way to the latter part of next week. Then we'll go out farther out in time, and we have kind of repeat performance here with another possible severe weather outbreak here. This is all the way out now, about 10 days from now, Saturday, March 8th time frame, possibility here. And again, cold enough air up to the north for some snow. That system, if it in fact develops here, can produce some severe weather down across the south, the southeastern states. And then we would have to watch its movement as it moves towards the east coast. There will be a lot of cold air up across the mid-Atlantic northeast U.S. relative to normal, all the way out now to March 9th here. We'll go out a little bit farther in time, and it looks like at this time, going into that second full week of March, this is Monday, March 10th, we'll have kind of an overwhelming pattern of warmer than normal air flooding into the heartland of the country and ultimately into the eastern U.S. This is a southwesterly fetch of air here, sandwiched between high pressure here, winds blow clockwise around highs, and low pressure here, winds blow counterclockwise, and this will pump some very mild air from the south central states into the Great Lakes region. Again, we're almost 2 weeks out from right now. This is all the way out to Monday, March 10th, and this is at this particular time with warm air kind of overwhelming the pattern. That could actually decrease the chances, at least for a little while, of severe weather here. But then we go out a little farther in time and we start to see that cold air showing up over the Rocky Mountain states, and we can have this repeat performance of a potential severe weather outbreak. This is 2 weeks from right now, all the way to almost the middle part of March here, with possibility of another round of colder than normal air pushing in from the north and west, interacting with some warm and humid air out of the Gulf of Mexico into the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, another possibility here. So the bottom line here is expect to see a very active weather pattern over the next few weeks through the month of March, and that certainly will have the capability of producing multiple severe weather outbreaks, including the threat of tornadoes. And given the fact that there will continue to be cold air outbreaks on an occasional basis, that will continue the chance for some snow over the next few weeks in the northern U.S. That's the Great Lakes region, certainly interior northeast U.S., especially those higher elevation areas of upstate New York and New England, will get some more accumulating snow over the next few weeks. So an interesting pattern coming up as we flip the calendar from February to March. That's it for now for ArcfieldWeather.com. This has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.